Hello, my name is dharma Santi. In this video, I want to explain about an expert from O'Malley et al. In O'Malley et al. Study, the classification consists of three categories, namely metacognitive strategies, and social strategies. First is metacognitive strategies, referred to a term used in information processing theory to indicate an executive function that is strategies which involve planning for learning. And among the main metacognitive strategies, it is possible to include advanced organizer, directed attention, selective attention, self-management, functional planning, self-monitoring, delayed production, and self-evaluation. Learning metacognitive strategies that is first, advanced organizer. Advanced organism is making general but comprehensive review of the organizing concept or principle in an anticipated learning activity. The directed attention, deciding in advance to attend in general to a learning task and ignore irrelevant distractor. Selective attention, deciding in advance to attend to specific aspects and arranging for the presence of those conditions. Functional planning, planning for rehearsing linguistic components necessary to carry out an upcoming language task. And self-monitoring, correcting one's speech for accuracy in pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, or appropriateness related to the setting or to the people who are present. Delayed production, consequently deciding to postpone speaking in order to learn initially through listening comprehension. And the last is self-evaluation. It is checking to the outcome of one's own language learning against an internal measure of completeness and accuracy. Language learning strategy can be classified by Oxford Study in 6 types. That is memory, cognitive, compensation, metacognitive, affective, and social strategy. Below, the detailed description is memory strategies. Memory strategies are techniques used to remember more effectively, to retrieve and transfer information needed for future language use. Memory helps students to store in memory important information gathered from their learning when the information is needed for use in the future. The strategies have information back. And cognitive strategies. Cognitive strategies are used to help the student to manipulate the target language or task correctly by using all their process. They include reasoning, analysis, and drawing conclusion. Compensation strategies. Compensation strategies are employed by the student to compensate for knowledge in the target language due to a lack of vocabulary. The strategies have to allow the students to use the language to speak and write in the target language even when their vocabulary limited. Metacognitive strategies. Metacognitive strategies are employed by students to help them coordinate the learning process by centering, arranging, planning, and evaluating their learning. This helps learners control their own learning. Effective strategies. Effective strategies are techniques to help the students control their emotion, attitude, motivation, and value. Their strategies have a powerful influence on language learning because they allow the students to manage their feelings. And the last is social strategies. Social strategies are activities that students engage in to seek opportunity to be exposed to an environment where the practice is possible. The strategies are important because language learning always involves other people. It is a form of social behavior. Okay, although the categories in the two taxonomies, which include metacognitive technique, are comparable, their method for gathering data for their studies were not. O'Malley and Kenneth conducted a study in which the participants were 70 students and 22 teachers. Despite the fact that the researchers were also interested into other learning methods, the study found that there were more learning strategies classified under the cognitive category than under any other category. Metacognitive strategies are higher order executive skills that may entail planning, monitoring, and evaluating the success of learning activity. Metacognitive strategies are applicable to a variety of learning tasks. Among the processes that would be included as metacognitive strategies would receiving or producing language tasks are selective or praise. Planning the organization of either written or spoken discourse, monitoring or reviewing attention to a task, monitoring comprehension for information that should be remembered, or monitoring production while it is occurring, and evaluating or checking comprehension after completing of receptive language activity, or evaluating language production after it has taken place. Cognitive strategies. Cognitive strategies refer to the steps or operations used in learning or problem solving which require direct analysis, transformation, or synthesis of learning materials. Cognitive strategy operate directly on incoming information, manipulating it in ways that enhance learning. And O'Malley and Camus success in identifying language learning strategies used by ESL students, but unlike Neyman et al., their study did not suggest which learning strategies successful language learners use compared with less successful one. First is grouping. Grouping means classifying word terminology or concept according to their attribute or meaning. Grouping strategies in reading involve classifying or reclassifying what is read into meaningful groups, thus reducing the number of unrelated elements. For example, classifying the word according to their grammatical categories. The next is note-taking. Note-taking means writing down keywords and concepts in abbreviated verbal, graphic, or numerical form while listening or reading. The knowledge gained by summarizing. For the next is summarizing. Summarizing means making a mental, oral, or written summary of new information gained through listening or reading. The next is the skimming and scanning. The strategy of getting the idea quickly involves skimming and scanning strategy. Skimming involves searching for the main ideas the speaker wants to get across, while scanning means searching for specific detail or interest to the learner. And next is inferencing. Inferencing means using available information to guess the meaning of new items, predict outcomes, or fill in the missing information. The next is deduction strategy. The deduction strategy means applying rules to understand or produce a second language or making up rules based on language analysis. The next is imagery. Imagery means using visual image or either mental or actual to understand or remember new information. And the last is elaborate. Elaboration means relating new information to prior knowledge, relating different parts of new information to each other, or making meaningful personal associations with the new information. Okay, and the last is social strategies. Social strategies, often referred to as socio-effective strategies, represent a broad grouping that involves either interaction with another person or intentional 25 control over effect. Social strategies of an example, a social strategy used is cooperation or working with peers to solve a problem, to share information, or to get feedback on a task. An example of effective strategy in use self-talk or reducing anxiety for learning by using mental technique that make one feel competent to do the learning task. Okay, that's all is my presentation. Thank you for watching and goodbye.